Hmm. Okay, good morning, guys. How are you doing today? Good morning, online. Morning, online. Hope everyone are doing good. Okay. Okay, let's jump on. So what did we discuss in our last class? Dynamo DB. So do you remember the concept that we have learned, right? So in Dynamo DB is server based or serverless? Dynamo DB is serverless. And in DynamoDB, what we will be creating directly? Table. What we'll be creating? Table. Directly we'll be creating table. So while creating a table, how many columns that you need to create? Only single column. And that column should be primary key. That column should be primary key. Is it possible to have a duplicate values for your primary key? Definitely no. If at all you want to have a duplicate values for your primary key, so what is the concept that you need to implement? Sort key you need to. And the combination of your partition key and sort key should be unique in order to have a duplicate values for your primary key. And then we discussed about ECR, SCR concepts. And then we discussed about indexes, LSI, GSI, and then mainly RCUs and WCUs. Remember how many how many RCUs and WCUs we will get by default? 5. How many RCUs that you get by default? 5. And how many WCUs that you get by default? 5 only. Okay. So we have been discussing on this DynamoDB. What I'll do today is I'll show um, the practicals on DynamoDB. Actually, we no need to go, but still what I do is I'll show how does the DynamoDB look like, how do we create a table and all. Okay. Okay. So let me share my screen. Can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well online? Okay. Which one, Nana? DynamoDB. So let's go to DynamoDB console. This is, and DynamoDB is global or regional? Regional. Did I say global? No. For that, so it is a regional. And do you see this in DynamoDB? What do we need to create directly? Table. Did we learn this? Yes, directly we'll be creating a table. Okay. Is it visible? Okay. So here directly we are creating a table, and I told you while creating a table, how many columns that you need to give? Only single column, and that column should be primary key. What is primary key called in DynamoDB? Partition key. Should we go and create a table now? Okay. So click on create table. And here it is asking for the table name. What is the table name that we have used? Employee table, EMP table. So, and it is asking for what? Partition key. What is our partition key? Employee number is the partition key. Employee number is a string of binary number. Number. See here, how many columns that we have given? Only one column, which is that employee number, and that too, it's a partition key. Now, a sort key is there, but sort key is mandatory or optional? It's completely optional. The sort key is optional. So I'm not giving any sort key. And then here we have default settings and customized settings. Which one we should go for? Customize. If you go for default settings, what is happening is, how many RCUs that you get by default? By how many WCUs that you get? And also you have auto scaling in this RCUs and WCUs. Let's say you are given 5 RCUs and you are getting huge traffic. These five RCUs are not sufficient. What you need to come and modify to 50 to 100 or 200. But modifying, coming here manually modifying is it's not a good one. So what you can do is you can give the maximum value like in auto scaling. So by default you have 5, but can you give 100 also as a maximum? Whenever it reaches that 5 RCUs consumed, automatically it will keep on increasing to 1000, how much ever it requires. That is called auto scaling. So let's go to customize settings here. Now in customize setting, we have something called table class. What is that? Remember in S3 we have learned now. In S3, what? Standard frequently access, infrequently access. Remember? And here also DynamoDB standard infrequently access. Which one we should go for? First or second? Huh? Standard, no. This is infrequently access. So when do we go for infrequently access? You are creating a table and the data is not used frequently. Then you go for IA. As we are using it frequently, then go for standard. Coming to here, capacity calculator. Remember yesterday we did some math. Yesterday we did some maths, no? What are those? RCUs and WCUs, no? One for ECR, one RC is equal to how many reads per second? 2 reads. For SCR, 1 read. So I showed you the calculation manually, right? So here also you can do you have a calculator automatically. You have a calculator automatically. And do you see this here? Let's say, for example, what was our average size yesterday in one of the problem? Our size. In problem, how much they have given? 8, no? Let's say, for example, 8. And then here, how many items that you want to read per second? 100 items. It is ESR. And do you see this? If it is strongly, how much is the value? And if it is eventually, you get this calculator like this. But can you do it manually also? You got these answers yesterday? Yeah. But keep this in mind. If we keep on increasing this, do you see this here? Price, estimated cost? Uh-huh. Pusuk, if you create it, gone, right? So it's not good. That is just a calculator. So please keep this in mind. Your DynamoDB price cost depend upon RCUs and WCUs. And of course, the size of the table. Please write down in your book. DynamoDB cost depend upon DynamoDB cost depend upon RCUs and RCU, WCU, RCU, WCU, and table size. And table size. Okay. So please keep this in mind in real time. Do not blindly go ahead and put RCUs and WCUs. 100 or 200 or 500 or 1000 or you will get a lot of bill. Okay. Okay. So next one here is capacity mode. What is it, Nana? You have 2 types of capacity modes: on demand to provision. Say that. On demand and provisioned. If you go for on demand, you will no need to give anything, any RCUs, any WCUs. Based on the demand, the traffic that you get, automatically RCS will increase, automatically WCS, RCS decrease. Everything will be handled automatically based on the load. But if you say here, see, simplify billing by paying for the actual reads and writes your application performs. That is on demand. So if you say provision, you need to give how much RCUs and how many WCUs that you need. If you want to give the number, go with provision. If you don't want to give any number, automatically everything should happen, go for on demand. So will you go for on demand or provision now? Let's go with a provision. Do you need auto scaling now? Off. And how many provision capacity units by default we get? 5. But do you need 5 now? How many you need? 1 is fine. Right? Auto scaling on or off? Off. How many? 1. Or else you just go ahead and put an on demand. If you put an on demand, what will happen? Automatically RCUs, WCUs will be taken. Understood? When you go for on demand, when you go for provision. Okay. So what do you want me to do? Should you go for on demand or provision? You want provision or on demand? Anything is fine. Provision, na? Okay, no problem. Go with the provision. So off. Okay. And then did we learn about secondary indexes yesterday? What are the 2 types of indexes where we have? LSI, GSI. Which one? LSI, GSI. I told you LSI will be created at the time of creating the table. Can we later delete and modify it? No. But this GSI can be created anytime. But here indexes, who will be creating? Your developers will be creating the index based on the requirement. So if you just click on create index and they will give the keys and then they'll give something and then click on create index. Nothing. It's very simple. Okay. And what is the cost here at the moment? As we are using only 1 RCUs and 1 WCUs, how much is cost? 0.67. That's half a dollar. That meaning, okay. And encryption at rest, as it is a database, there are 2 types of encryptions, intransitive, at rest. So as it is database, which one is better? Intransitive, at rest? At rest only, because that is database which is sitting, the data is sitting over there. You know, this is delete protection is fine. Do you understand how to create a table? So what I do is, I cancel it. You tell me how to create a table. Okay? Okay, click on create table. Employee table. Partition key. Employee number. Do you want short key now? No. Default customize. Customize. Standard IA. Standard. On demand provision. Auto scaling. This one. Right. Auto scaling. 1. Do you want second index? That's it. Go ahead and click on create. Do you understand how to create table? Here we have given randomly employee table and employee number. Actually, we have given randomly, but is it good that we should give like this? This is a sample table that we have created. Developers will be creating this table with the actual column names. But for an example, we have created employee table. Okay, now see, now employee table is ready. It is active. Which is the partition key here? Employee number is partition key. And then how many WCs, RCs that we have given? 1. How many WCs we have given? 1. What is the table class? Standard. How many data is there inside it? No, 0 bytes. So if you select this, you can delete the table in actions, update settings, explore items. What are the items meaning? Rows. You can add tags, remove tags, turn on, delete on protection. We'll talk about this. Let's go inside the table. Okay. So, Nana, see here. For every table, you have these options. What are those? Overview, read. Overview, indexes, monitoring, global tables, backups, exports and streams, additional setting. For every table, you have these options. So overview meaning what? Overview of the table. So if you see here, what is a partition key? Do we have any sort key or not? What is the capacity mode? On demand, provision, any alarms created. And then very importantly, we have something called PITR. What is that? Point in time recovery. What is that? Write in your book, full form of PITR. Point in time recovery. Because in certification, sometimes if you get PITR, don't get confused. PITR. Point in time recovery. So PITR is related to what? Backups, no? Point in time is related to. You can take the backups here. Do you see we have a separate proper separate menu here, backup. You can take the backup. This one is if you by default PITR is enabled. No. So by default it is disabled. Whenever you have enabled this PITR, what has happened is any time, any point of time. That's why it's called point in time. Any point, any time, any second, any minute, any hour. If you want the data back at that particular period of time, within seconds also, you can retrieve the data. You can retrieve the, I mean, you can restore the backup. But this is not for free. It is for additional charges. What you need to edit PITR and turn on, that's in save changes. No, application. Through application, we need to use DynamoDB. I didn't understand. Correct question. Ah, correct. లేదు. Okay, I understood this question. So here you are asking, sir, how this DynamoDB will be used. I am showing you manually here on the console. Like in RDS, we set up entire engine. No, here also, actually DynamoDB, we should not do anything because directly developer will do. I'm going one step forward and creating here for you. But actually, who will be creating these tables? Developer. Once the table is created, applications is there. No, developer will develop the application. From that application, they will connect to this DynamoDB table. And they have application will open the page, and whatever the data they put, all the data will get stored here. Similarly, like how we do it in RDS, similarly here. But RDS is RDBMS databases, and this one is NoSQL. That's the difference. Rest, everything is same. So don't enable PITR, okay? And come to overview section. No, PITR will not create a snapshot. Here, there is no concept of snapshot. In DynamoDB, don't call it a snapshot. There is no snapshot. So here, if you click on backups, and do you see here, create backup, and say, give the name and click on create backup, and backup will be created here. That's it. Backup will be created here. There is no snapshot. Here, we call it as backup. Backup is completely different. That is full backup. And PITR meaning any time, any particular point in time also you can. Let's say backup you have taken at what time? Night 9 o'clock, for example. But I want the backup at night 12 o'clock. I want to retrieve. I want to restore the data at 12 o'clock. But you took backup at 9 o'clock. Now, do you have the backup at 12 o'clock? So in that case, what you can use? PITR you can use. Okay. Good. These are all in. And then here we have item summary. So how many items do we have? Items meaning what here? Rows. Do we have any rows here? No, it says item count is 0. Okay. And of course, this is the monitoring. Do you understand overview section now? And coming to indexes. And I told you, which is the index that you can create after creating a table? LSI or GSI? GSI. So here you can create only global secondary. Do you have any option to create LSIs here? No. So create index and give your partition key. And I told you, LSI is a combination of partition key plus any column as sort key. And this one, GSI is a combination of any column as a partition key, any column as a sort key. Do you have the clearly written? No. So here you can give the partition key, you can give the sort key. Monitoring, you know, you can create alarms, you can monitor it. Global tables. You know what is global tables? In RDS also we got. Elastic Cache also. In Elastic Cache we got. Global tables. Global tables meaning by now at the moment table is in which region? Mumbai. And if you want to replicate to another region, that is global tables. Let's say you have, let's say you want to replicate to Ireland region. So now what you do is, now it is create replica is grayed out. Why? Because to create a replicas, you need to have on-demand provision, on-demand mode. Now we have in which mode? Provision mode, no? Now you need to move it to on-demand. To create a replica, you must set your tables and its throughput capacity to auto-scaling or change the capacity mode to on-demand. Our capacity mode is provision, no? You need to, if you click on it, we have selected provision. You need to select what? On demand. If you select on demand, you click on save changes, then what will happen? You can create a replica where in another region. Once you create a replica in another region, what will happen? Whatever the data that you have rewriting it here, the same data will be available in the other region. That is called global tables. Okay. Backups, I've shown you. Don't enable PITR and backups is here. Can you export your backups to S3? Like how did it in RDS? Similarly, here also you can export. And remember, I told you DynamoDB streams. Remember yesterday we learned about DynamoDB streams? What is that? Streams. Check. See in the book. DynamoDB streams. So item level changes, right? Item level changes can be captured. Yes or no? So item meaning what? Row? No. If you have any changes in the rows, all these changes will be stored in where? In streams. I told you can use DynamoDB streams also. You can use Kinesis streams also. See here. So see here, guys. Here we have DynamoDB streams. Simple. You need to turn on. That's it. And here also in Kinesis streams also, you just need to turn on. If you turn on all your DC, item level changes in your table, everything will get captured here. Additional settings, read and write. Now, do you remember yesterday we learned about push button scaling? What is push button scaling? Yes, on fly, you can increase the performance. Now, how much provision capacity, how much RCUs and WCUs we have given at the moment? 1. So now your table is working. Edit it and change this to 100. Don't click on yes. Change to 100. Okay. $66. Don't save. Huh? So, but here you change it and click on save. Automatically, your DynamoDB performance will increase. This is called push button scaling. What is this called? Push button scaling. Understood? This is called push button scaling. But if you don't want this push button scalings and all, you can go for on demand. You can go for on demand. Okay. So next, anytime you can go and enable the auto scaling activities. You will also learn from me only. Don't worry. See here. Okay. And then remember yesterday we discussed about TTL. What is TTL? Time to live. So if at all you want to see here, automatically delete expired items from a table. So if you want to delete any expired item you can set an expiry for a particular item and then you can delete from that table. You can set it here. Encryption is there, deletion protection. You all understood all the options here? Yes or no? Understood? So now what I do is I'll go to overview and let's see the actions here. In actions, what you have? Edit capacity. Capacity meaning what? On demand provision. You can edit it. Update table class. Standard infrequently access. Change it. Delete table. What is this here? Create item. What is the meaning of create item? Rows. Creating rows. We'll create it soon. Did I show you how to create an index? And then create a replica. So if you want to create a replica, it has to be on demand. Can you export to S3? Can you turn on TTLs? Can you control who can access these tables? Yes. See, now I will be showing you here, create item, create item. So click on create item. So here, now let's see here, table I have created, employee table. And how many columns are there at the moment? Only one column. What is that column here? Employee number. Oh, what is this employee number? It is a partition key. It is a what? Partition key. Okay, now what is the value? Give employee number. I'll put it as 1000. One column is sufficient for us here? No. This is the beauty of no SQL. That meaning what? Now I have only one column. I want to add multiple additional columns. Table is already created. But is it possible in RDBMS? No. But here you can go and add the attribute. What is attribute meaning? Columns. You can add a new attribute. You want string, number, which data type that you want, you can select it. So it supports map also, list also. For developers, if they are writing developer certification, they will ask this question. So DynamoDB supports what the data types. Does it support list, map, binary, number, string, all these things, Boolean, everything, it's string. Okay, now, so what is the next column that you can create here? Employee number. After that, employee name. Name is string. So I call it as here, EMP name. Next, after employee name, phone number. Number, I call it as phone. Next, salary. I call it as C. Can I go and add the columns like this randomly? Yes. And employee name, Babu. Right? And then phone number, salary, Babu. ఎంత కావాలి ఎంత కావాలి సార్ రూమ్ రెంట్ కట్టుకుంటే చాలు సార్ సో salary I'll give decent 20 lakhs. Okay, so click on, sir, which is your company? I'll come to your company, sir. You're giving nice salaries, huh? Okay, so now click on create item. No, you can go with the form format also, or you can go with the, I told you, DynamoDB supports JSON. So you click on JSON. So JSON is there here. What the developers will do is they'll have a huge, the big JSON code will be there. They'll come and then paste the code here and they'll create the tables. You understand? No one will be coming and creating this manually. I'm showing you manually here, but developers will be inserting these values from the application. From the application they will be inserting the values here. But I'm showing here for you just for reference. Click on create item. See, Nana? Item got created. Employee number, employee name, phone, salary got created. Can I add one more item also? Yes. So to add it, you can edit the item anytime, duplicate item, delete, and you can download all the items here into Excel sheet. Imagine in your real time, you have 10,000 rows and you want to download all the data. Generally, those who are working in SQL servers, they know, we will export into Excel sheet, no? All the items, all the rows will be exporting into Excel sheet. I'll tell you why people will do that. In Excel sheet, we can retrieve the data easily. Yes or no? By filtering, we'll do some small formula we'll put in. Those who don't know writing the queries, what they do is they export all the data to Excel sheet. In Excel sheet, they do the magics. I know, I saw many people like this. Okay, so now I'm duplicating the items so that I no need to write. Okay, now next one is who? Babu is done. Next, I'll put Papa. Sir, blah, 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 and number. And Papa is 30 lakh. Now tell me, is it possible to add this data? Think and answer. No, because employee number is same. If you click on create item, you cannot, because the employee number is partition key. It's a primary key. Is it possible to add the duplicate values? Definitely no. So I need to change it to 1001 and then create item. See, understood? So now let's say I already, should I add one more column also? Of course, yes, I'll add it. See, duplicate item and I'll call it as 1, 2. Next is Madhu. Madhu is here. Huh? Madhu is boy name that you don't call this number. Okay, so let's say 40 lakhs. Now, can I go ahead and add another department here? See, department, let's say IT. See here, department got and other, see, other values are null. Is that possible in RDBMS? See, flexibility. NoSQL has this kind of flexibility. So you understand now how to add items to the table. So this is manually I have added, but developers will be adding all this data through the application. They will be having their own tools and they will be adding all the data in the tables. But that is not our job, but I extended little bit and giving all these informations to you. Okay, Nana? Is it clear? Easy? DynamoDB easy for us now from console point of view. Even though you're a not developer, you can handle the DynamoDB. So from console point of view, there is no foreign keys and all. So you need to learn a little bit more NoSQL, no, Vishaka. So if you want to know more about foreign keys, primary keys and all, then NoSQL you need to learn separately. Okay. Okay. So is it clear, everyone? So I created an employee table. Now what I do is, let me show you, is it possible to add a duplicate values for this, for primary key? No. But what I do is, I'll show you how to add duplicate values for primary key with the concept of sort key. Should I show you? Live, create table. I'm creating one more table. I call it as game table. What is that? And partition key is gamer. And sort key is game name. What is that? What is the table name? Game table. And because let's assume that I'm conducting some games. So I need to list everything in my database, no? So I'm writing it here. So game table, who is gamer? Gamer meaning who is the person who is who is playing the game and what the game he's playing. Okay. Customize. Standard provision of 1 of 1. Okay. And then go ahead and then. No. Here, what is the sort key that I have given here? Remember that. Partition key is, okay, na? Create table. Table got created. I went inside the table and I go and create item. See here. Now I have two columns, no? One is partition key, one is sort key. And then gamer. Who is a gamer? We'll take our Babu only. Okay, game name. What game you will play, Babu? Huh? Meaning? Oh, Ash Vault. Ash Vault. Give me some name which I can understand. Huh? PUBG. Okay. Okay, Ash Vault. Who knows all these games? Huh? Okay, so PUBG. So Babu is a gamer. He played PUBG. And then I'll add one more column, call it a status. What's the game status? He lost or he won? What we say? Say. So Babu has played PUBG. So I'm putting a tournament and he played PUBG and he won. Will he play PUBG again? Will he play PUBG again in the tournament? No, he won already. But can he play another game? Yes or no? Gamer is Babu. Now I want to add one more record with Babu only. You're getting it? I'll be adding, but gamer is partition key. But Babu, is it possible to add one more Babu here? Generally, no. But we have given the concept of short key to game name. So is it possible to add Babu PUBG again? No, because the combination should be unique. Now let's see. I'll duplicate this item so that I no need to write again. Duplicate item. So Babu PUBG. Can I create this record again? Not possible. See, because the combination of partition key and short key should be unique. Now, but I'll use Babu only. But this time, give me another game. Huh? Free Fire, FIFA, football. Okay. So FIFA, he lost. FIFA, he lost. Can you add this now? Yes, the combination of partition key and short key is now unique. So create. See, got created. See, gamer is a partition key. Now can we have the duplicate values for the partition key? Yes, with the concept of short key. So you understood? I gave in the live developers example how they do it. Understood? Online, Nana, is this clear? So everyone understood about DynamoDB. Is anything else in DynamoDB here? No. From the console point of view, what you need to do is, if anyone asks to create tables, you can create tables like this and make sure that you take the backups, export to S3 if required, and then provision capacity units, take care of it. RCUs, WCUs, take care of it because developers don't know. And also capacity mode, on demand, a provisioner, take care of that. There is a question. Can we export tables from Excel sheet, tables to Excel sheet? Of course, I showed, here. Select all here and then go ahead and then download. If you download is nothing but export only. Export to Excel sheet. These two options is export to Excel. You can selected items you can download or you can download results, all the results to CSV. Import, yes, possible, but through code you need to do it. Import here, Nana, see, who is this? Harsha. So if you edit it, you can, in JSON view, you can put all your data here. Copy paste. So that is on DynamoDB. Same thing here, backups, everything. Can you reserve the capacity also? RCUs, WCUs, can you reserve it? Yes, you can reserve it. Nana, this is not required for you. This is called DAX. What is that? DynamoDB Accelerator. What is that? DynamoDB itself is very fast. It handles millions of requests per second. That to trillions of data, it will handle it. Generally, DynamoDB. But if you need to have even extreme rocket power performance, then go with the cluster concept. What is cluster? Collection of servers. So go here and then create the cluster name, blah, blah, and then which node family type, which one you want, size, how many number of nodes, and then put the data there. But this will not be asking in your solution architect. This is for professional levels. But remember, DAX. DAX is used to even more giving DAX, DynamoDB Accelerator. Accelerator meaning what? Speed. So, understood, Nana, DynamoDB? So what you need to do on the DynamoDB is, as a practical, what I did, creating a table, partition key, sort key examples, you can do it. Clear? Any questions? If not, what I do is I'll delete these tables, delete all CloudWatch alarms. Do you want to create a backups? Don't create a backups and just go and click on confirm. Okay. Now this is gone. And I promise that I'll be telling one more service today. Which one is that? CloudFront, which is very important for our solution architect, especially for us, not for developers. So I covered developers topics also many, and also individual for our services also we'll be doing it. Okay, let's talk about this CloudFront. You know very well about the CloudFront. What is the CloudFront used for? Caching. What is that? Caching. So let's say, for example, This is S3 bucket. What is that? S3 bucket. What I do is I'll put a static website here. What's it now? Now you can take S3 also, static website also, or you can take ELB, a dynamic website also. Anything is fine. But easiest is here S3 website. So I took S3 bucket, and that too in which region? Mumbai. And this is what bucket? Public or private? I'll take it private. Generally, when you enable static website hosting, we'll be taking public or private? Public. But this time I'm going with the private. And that too, I am not enabling static website. Right? Static web. But I'm not enabling. Do we see in properties, we need to go in static hosting, static website hosting, we need to edit and enable? No, don't enable it. So, but I want this website to be working through CloudFront and throughout the world I need. So, okay, assume that we have an S3 bucket with our static website there. Our user is here. In which country? You want Ireland? Huh? Okay. It can be Ireland, it can be US, it can be Tokyo, anywhere. So we have Ireland here. So this guy, what is our application name? Boom.com. You take anything or S3 website. So this guy is all the way from here is connecting to Mumbai, and this is giving back to the Ireland. High latency, low latency. So if this guy wants to connect all the way to Mumbai, obviously he's having high latency. No, I put only Ireland, but it can be throughout the globe, globally. Anywhere, if you take a region, for them it will be a high latency. So how do I provide a low latency across the globe? Using a service called, what is the service name? Service name, CloudFront. What is the service name? CloudFront. Now in CloudFront, what do we create? Super. What do we create? Distribution. In CloudFront, what do we create? Distribution. While creating distribution, we need to give the origin details, no? Which is our origin here? S3 bucket. Which one? Origin meaning where is your website? Website is ELB or S3. Which one? S3. Which one, Anna? S3. Okay. So now Ireland Walla also has its own edge location nearby. Yes or no? So whenever you create the distribution like this, all your data will be cached inside the edge location. Using what network? CDN. Using what network? CDN. What is the full form of CDN? Content Delivery Network. What is this edge location? So now this user will be connecting to the edge location. Edge location will be sending reply to the user. And whenever the cache timing is done, then again, it will get update from the S3 bucket. Right? And how does these are connected? Through the CDN only, correct? Is this good? The red line is good. So this is high latency, it's not good. Is it clear? Architecture. So what we're gonna do here? First, what is the first step? See this diagram, tell me what the first step. What is the first step? Create a private S3 bucket and upload a static website files. So do you remember on that day we downloaded one HTML template? HTML template. Like this, you can download it, create S3 bucket, and then upload it. After that, what we do? And also, don't enable public access. to S3 and objects, correct? Generally we do it, no? And also don't enable static website hosting. Don't do this. Clear? After this, what we need to create? S3 bucket is created. What we need to create now? Huh? Yeah. What we need to create now? CloudFront only. What is that? S3 website is created. What is the next thing that we need to create here? In CloudFront, what do we create? Distribution. What we need to create here? Distribution. Create distribution. Create distribution. In distribution, I'll show you what are the options that you get it. So is it clear how are we going to do? So what do we need to create first? S3 bucket. Let's go to S3. Okay. Create bucket. Mumbai. What do I call 9 a.m. CloudFront BKT demo. Should I calculate this? Private bucket. Disable or enable? Check on check. Check. Let's go and create. So on that day, we have downloaded some template, no? Somewhere that template should be there. To Prime Care. Something is there. So some website is there. What I do? Should I go and upload all these things? Go inside. Lagdu Gunjida. Take it and then upload it. And then click on upload. Okay. Upload successful. Click on close. Do I need to enable any public access? Do I need to enable public access? Do I need to go and enable static website? Nothing. So just keep it like this. Now where we need to go? Cloud front. Let's go to cloud front. And from S3, we have not enabled static website. Nothing. Just a private bucket. I have uploaded the files. Through CloudFront, I'm hosting it now. This is a very rare, not very rare. Don't know. Generally, people will not discuss about this. As this is a real time that we do it, so I'm sharing this thing with you. Okay. So now, CloudFront is global. CloudFront is obviously it should be global because it has to be across the globe. No, CloudFront is global. So what do we create in CloudFront? So create a CloudFront distribution. So click on distribution. Origin domain. Where is your origin? S3 bucket. If you click on it, it is loading. Do you see we have this S3 bucket? 9 a.m. CloudFront bucket demo. Select this. Okay, Nana. Remember this. In CloudFront, we'll be having so many parameters. It's not required that you need to select every parameter here. Whichever is required for you based on the requirement, select. Otherwise, ignore it. So original path is completely optional. Leave it. And then origin axis. Which one is our origin? S3 bucket. No. Your origin axis is public bucket. Private. No. So which one here? First or second or third? Which one is here? Recommended is there? No. Second one we need to select. Which one? Second one. Third one, legacy access setting. Legacy meaning the old caching, old style. That is old style. Don't do it. So here, origin access control settings. Bucket can restricted access to only. Does S3 bucket is a private? No. Does it have access to anyone? No. Whom that bucket will have access only now? CloudFront can only access that S3 bucket files, objects. No one can able to access it. For if you want that kind of things, select the second one. So here, what we did here, I'm right, create distribution. No, okay, let me finish all the things and then. So once you select this here, origin axis control, you need to click on create control. So we need to give the control settings to CloudFront. No, so click on create control settings, keep everything default like this, and then click on create. See, now this got created. No, no. So what is this meaning here? Origin axis control settings. This meaning is origin axis control. What is our origin is here? S3. So CloudFront is controlling that S3 bucket. How does it control generally? Through policies. Through what? Policy. Now here, do you see here? You must update S3 bucket policy. Once we create the distribution, once we come down all the way down and click on create distribution, this CloudFront will give you one small policy. Take that policy and put it in S3. In bucket policies, then in S3, there copy paste it. That meaning you are giving permission from CloudFront to S3 bucket. You understand this option? So come down and then enable origin shield. So origin shield means it's an additional layer of caching, additional caching layer. Enough. Already caching is there, but in future, if you want even additional caching, enable this. Coming down. Compress objects automatically. What is that, Nana? What is the meaning of compress? Zip it. Compress meaning zip it. So compress objects automatically. Let's say, for example, all the data in the network is traveling through packets only, no? Whenever you open anything in a browser, boom.com, it will go to the server and get the data. All the data is transferring to the network only, no? So just imagine you open Facebook or if you open Amazon.in, you see so many images, pictures. Yes or no? All these pictures needs to be travel through the network and come to your browser, no? So in the network, if you don't zip it, it is a heavy load. It will take a lot of time to get loaded in your browser. So what the people will do is in the backend, the networking, all this data will be compressed. And then once you compress, it will travel very fast in the network. So by default, compress objects automatically. Our CloudFront is compressing it and then using it. So that is one. And then here, viewer protocol. Okay, now tell me, we have our Google, no? https://google.com. Working? Now, I remove, yes. Will this work? Huh? Will this work or not? Online. Every day you are using now Google. Simple question. Will this work? Yes or no? So I'm hitting it and it worked. Why? So that meaning Google is working on HTTP. So whenever the customer is trying to access Google with HTTP, that HTTP will get converted to HTTPS. So it will get redirected. What is that? Here also, you have your boom.com application. So if anyone type http://boom.com, is it good to go with HTTP? No, you can redirect. How? This CloudFront will do this. Redirect HTTP to HTTPS. Or if you want to work both HTTP and HTTPS, select it. And you want only HTTPS, HTTP should not work, then select it. If you select the last option, what will happen? HTTP will not work. So I'm going with the default one, HTTP and HTTPS. And your application will have all these methods, no? Your developer will be writing in the backend code, all this get, head, option, put, post, all these methods in the browser, it should work. Right? And restrict viewer access. If you restrict viewer access, viewers must use CloudFront signed URL or signed cookies to, no, don't restrict it because otherwise from customer point of view, it will be very hard. But there are few requirements where you can restrict it and you can, and then the customers need to use cookies in order to access all these things. Okay, you keep everything default. No, this is by default. Caching is optimized for S3 and all. That is fine. Keep everything. Next important thing is, what is this? WAF. Remember WAF we have discussed? Priyanka or someone said, sir, global accelerator. In global accelerator, we discuss about WAF. What is this WAF used for? For security purpose. It's a protection shield. Correct, no, Priyanka, correct. So you have boom.com. Let's say from the browser, someone opened boom.com. And then there might be some hackers. What they do is they will hack through the URL, or they will do any kind of nasty things on the URL. Like SQL injections is there, HTTP floodings are there, DDoS attacks are there. So basically, there are so many nasty things that are happening. In order to stop all these things, what we can do is we can enable WAF. What is WAF? Web application firewall. Which firewall is this? Application related firewall. So if you enable this, it is good. If you don't enable it, it's up to you. But in real time, which one is good? Enable it, which is good. And WAF is also a separate service, Nana. WAF and Shield. So what you need to do is, by default, you have some security protections in WAF. But if at all you want to remove some protections, add some protections, you go directly to WAF service and go and add and report. But for that, you need to know a little bit about hacking. Like, uh, you should know what are the attacks, that cyber attacks that is happening on the browser levels. Yes or no? Otherwise, how do you know? You are putting lock to your home and then putting one big stick inside your home. Why? If some thieves comes inside, you will hit him, because that's the reason why you're putting the stick, because thief might come and you will hit it. Like this, you should know what kind of hackings that will be happening generally and what kind of protection you should be using it. You should know. You don't need to go for ethical hacking and learning all these things, but at least you should know what are the attacks that will be happening through the browser level so that you can secure them. Okay. So I'm not enabling it. And see here, edge locations. Have you seen edge locations till now? No. This is the only option that you get it. See, I told you, na, while creating distributions, you can enable the edge locations on Europe level, US level, Asia level, correct? Here, see, or you can use for all edge locations. If you have used all edge locations, that meaning what? Globally, anywhere your customers are there, so they will have the low latency to access your website. But if you say that, no, sir, I want only North America and Europe. So no, sir, I want only these continents. So select it. But I'm going for all. And then we have a SSL certificate. What is it? SSL certificate. One second. So there is an announcement. So Monday is holiday for you, as you know, right? So in the occasion of Christmas. So Naresh Shetty has declared as holiday. Okay. So now here you have SSL certificate. What is it? You know very well SSL. Where do you create SSL certificates? Huh? Where do you create SSL certificate? Which service in AWS? Huh? ACM. Which one? What is ACM? Amazon Certificate Manager. So you create a certificate. If you want HTTPS for your website, so you can create a certificate here and the certificate will come here, ACM certificates. And here, root object. Now, what is our root object in our S3 bucket? What is our landing page? Index.html. No? What is that? Index.html. So just put index.html. So whenever someone accesses the object, or access your application, that is the first page that will come on the browser. That is the root object. And if you want logging, enable it. If you want IPv6, enable it. Otherwise, no. Do you see this? All the options. Now, I'll come from top. Which one need to be done? So what you did here, origin domain, you selected S3 bucket. And then here, You selected which option and origin axis is second. Origin axis control settings. You selected it and then click on create control settings. And then rest everything, basically everything is default. Only where, and here, web application firewalls, do not enable, you said it here. And then finally here in object, root object, you put index.html. Is it clear? And click on create distribution. So once you click on create distribution, I told you that it'll give the policy, no? So copy policy, and where do you need to put? S3 bucket. Go to permissions and in edit, and then paste it. So basically what is doing, it is giving access to CloudFront. To which bucket? This 9 a.m. CloudFront bucket. So go ahead and then save. So now CloudFront. So now it is saying, what is it saying here? Deploying. What is the meaning of deploying here? Deploying meaning it is going and deploying your entire application to all the edge locations. So I told you, CloudFront will also give the nasty URL. This is the URL. This is a URL. How we have a load balancer is giving nasty URL. Similarly, CloudFront is also giving the nasty URL. So in which service do you do the makeup? In Route 53, boom.com should be routed to this URL. And this URL, anyways, it is sending in the backend to S3 bucket, or it can be a load balancer in there. So once this is ready, then what we do, we take this and we'll put it in the browser, and you will get a low latency across the globe. Let's wait. Do you all understood how to set up your application through CloudFront? Everyone online? So meanwhile, can you tell me, after creating distribution, what did we write? Create distribution, we select origin as S3 bucket. And then what we did? Select, we call it as OAC. What is that? Origin axis control settings. So select this OAC, and then after that, create, what is that called? Origin axis control settings, right? And rest, WAF, don't enable, huh? And then what is that last root object? We are given as index.html. Keep rest everything defaults. Okay, Nana? So let's wait. This will take a little bit time. Oh, it's done. Do you see this? So now what I take this and then hit it. How fast it came. Such a huge image, you see, within fraction of seconds, you got it. Huh? Nice, huh? Okay, you understand, Nana? There is question. Sir, do the developers use this nasty URL static application in the application which is deployed easy to follow latency? Yes. Is it clear? So if this is a nasty URL. So if you want to do the makeup, Route 50, go to Route 53, create a record and give this as boom.com. So if someone hit boom.com, so indirectly it will hit the edge location, CloudFront, and it will get retrieved from the edge locations itself. And it will be super fast across the world. Because we have selected edge locations for all edge locations, best performance, no? Yes, you will get that there also, Harsha. The CloudFront cache only static files are dynamic or both are. It's about both. So it doesn't matter whatever that it want to store the data, it will be storing in the edge location. And if you have any request which is need to go to the database, it will go at the backend. Again, it will store in the edge location, which is frequently. What is the meaning of cache? Frequently accessed data. Any data which is frequently getting access, everything will get stored in the edge location. That can be backend also. That can be front end static also. Is it clear, everyone? Online. So will you able to do these practicals? But what I want you to do is one important thing here. Let's say, for example, here it says AWS Care Center. What is a baby care center? What is that? Baby care center. Now you remove baby and put AWS Care Center. You know how to do that? Huh? Come on, you cannot say directly no. It is small HTML page only, no? So this is what page? Index.html page only, no? What you need to do? Go to index.html, edit, open with notepad, search for what? Care center. Baby is there, no? Put AWS. You don't know this? Okay. So save it. Save it. Once you save it, this will get updated here automatically. What you need to do? Where you need to upload? S3 bucket. Where you need to upload? The latest file you upload, re-upload to S3. Once you re-upload to S3, automatic will get changed here? No, because it is cached. What is the concept that you implement here? Invalidate. Remember? Remember invalidate. So you need to invalidate. How to invalidate the cache? I'll show you here. Go inside this. And then do you see invalidations? Go here, create invalidations. And which is that? Slash index.html. And then click on create invalidation. Once it create invalidations, right? So once you create invalidations, what will happen? This request will go to the all edge locations and it delete the index.html and retrieve back from the origin again freshly. That is called invalidations. So you can do this as a part of practicals. So what I'll write it here itself. What you do is, hey, here, that's what I was. Once distribution is created, copy the bucket policy and update in S3 bucket policy. Okay. And what it is, update index.html, update index.html, anything. You can take any word, you can change it. Update index.html with another image or text, right? And re-upload to S3. Okay. Access the website. So do you see any changes? No, you will not see any change. What you do? Go to CloudFront and invalidate cache. So there you put slash index.html. Then refresh the page. You will see the latest data. Okay. So I wrote this clearly. You can do it. And another important thing here is in CloudFront, in security, WAF we have seen. No, there is something origins. No. And origins is S3. You can have multiple origins. You can go and click on create origins and have multiple behaviors. Not behavior. No, where is that? There is one where you can CloudFront geographical restrictions. What is that? Geographical restrictions meaning, let's say I have my website, this website. This website is there, no? I don't want this website to work in few countries. Can you go in whitelist and blacklist? Yes. How you can do it? Here you can go and edit it. This Babu, where is this CloudFront? Do you see here? Edit. You can allow countries also, you can block. So if you say which countries that you want to block, I don't want to block any countries here. So, but if at all in real-time requirement, if you want to block any countries, select those countries and click on save. So once you save it, you can block the, so here I'll write using CloudFront, we can do geographical restrictions. Okay, Nana? You understand the real time? We'll able to do this. Any questions online? So once you're done with this, please go ahead and then delete it. You can disable also. So before that, first you need to disable it and then delete it. So many people, what they do is they'll forget this. If you forget this, this will be charged, I'm telling you. And play with only 1 or 2 times. Don't keep on playing, invalidating the cache. One invalidations will charge for very few cents, very negligible, but don't keep on invalidating. I want you to just test how it is invalidating. That's it. It is deploying. So, any questions meanwhile? Meanwhile, I'll go and delete. So do you all understood? So how to set up a website through with private buckets? No one is saying thank you for this extra topic, sir. Huh? Abba. Okay. And DynamoDBs are also gone. No backups. Nothing. S is a CloudFront. Still deploying. It will take time. All right. Anything? Any questions? Anything? Okay. And Monday is holiday. Naresh Shetty has declared as holiday. So the next class will be on what? Tuesday. 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 So there is 1 or 2 questions from CF in our. Yes, there will be. Definitely there will be an exam. Take the screenshot. So from next week, don't miss the classes because next week services are too much highly important services. So one is Route 53, another one is VPC. Very important topics. If you miss the topics, I would say you have missed definitely in AWS something because as an architect, these two are very, very important. Yeah. Good. Can you give the final CC for today? CC with smile, please. Great. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you on next Tuesday with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and have a nice holidays. And those who are celebrating Merry Christmas, and please be safe because, as I said already, COVID is coming back again. Please take necessary precautions while traveling and while meeting, especially while you're going to theaters nowadays, right? So please take care of all those things and have the good precautions. So see you now on the next week. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.